What up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another video. And I didn't even plan on doing this video, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I just woke up and I'm looking at this video now. It's by this dude named Black Conservative Perspective, BCP. And apparently, there's a clip that was leaked from a Joe Biden meeting, okay? And I want everybody to go back, and I want everybody to watch every single one of my videos, and I want everybody to listen to every word that I said. And then after you go back and check the date on my videos and listen to every single word that I said, then I want you to listen to this clip.
Cutting out everything except delete audio, so it's not necessarily going to flow in a way that's like super consistent, but there's a lot of snippets of the conversation. If you listen carefully, you'll get the gist of what the conversation was about. And just as a background, this meeting was not supposed to be recorded. It was supposed to be private. However, you got some people in the meeting that recorded anyways, and that's just a lesson in 2020. Everything is recorded. Everything is on video. Okay, so don't be surprised when leaked stuff come out. And just for some context, and what I want you to pay attention to is that they're essentially asking Joe Biden, hey, what are you going to do for us? Can you do X, Y, and Z on criminal justice reform, prison reform, and the defunding of police conversation? And Joe Biden is telling him what he's willing to do and what he's not willing to do. So pay attention to how he talks to them as you listen to this audio. Roll it.
This is a completely closed call, so just wanted to remind you of that. There's no recording.
I'm the first person, Black Cornway, who called attention to the fact that you were finding that there was the rate of people who are African Americans are dying was 3 times that of white people.
Talking about COVID-19. First of all, it doesn't matter about rates. COVID-19 is a problem that the entire America has. The entire crisis was mismanaged. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dying. Yes, we're dying at a higher rate than everybody else, but for you to try to put that out there as a black issue,
carry around a stamp on my head saying progressive and I'm AOC, but I haven't.
Then he goes and drags AOC. Now, if you remember what I told you guys yesterday, I told you these people ain't cool like that. There's a secret war going on between the Democrats right now. You know what I'm saying? AOC got a lot of people taking aim at her. You know what I mean? And there was an article that I read. I think it was from Axios. I told you Joe Biden is very disrespectful to all of those women of color who are in the squad. Now, I don't like the squad either, but the thing is that you don't have to be disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? Bernie Sanders is just as much of a racist as Joe Biden is, and those women fight and try to defend Bernie Sanders because he has them tricked and thinks that they care about him. You know what I mean? So the racism comes in many different forms. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden, behind closed doors, he ain't got no respect for AOC. None of these people respect you, AOC. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all on the wrong team.
More of a record of getting things done in the United States Congress than anybody you know. Anybody you know.
And the thing that trips me out is how Joe Biden gets so cocky. Like he's literally talking down to somebody. Man, wouldn't have been me. I'm not one of y'all, you know what I'm saying, that just sit there and let, you know what I'm saying, like one of these people talk crazy and then go turn around and put a bullet in a black dude's head. That's not me. He wouldn't have talked to me like that, is all I gotta say.
By 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority.
He's talking about 2040, the country's going to be minority white European, which isn't necessarily true. However, again, nobody cares about social constructs because in 2040, white people are still going to have a $300,000 head start as far as the wealth gap between blacks and Latinos. So stop talking about the minority of people and start talking about the majority of money, because the majority of money is what matters. This dude is a filthy piece of trash, and I'm so tired of arguing with black people about you show information and nobody wants to listen and nobody wants to believe you when you literally have the man's voice saying all kind of crazy stuff and they still just won't listen to you. I honestly think that black people really want to vote themselves into oblivion, because I mean, just example after example after example after example after example of this dude just being a complete ratchet piece of trash is constantly coming out, and you still have these docile blue pill simps that don't want to listen to this crap. You know what I'm saying?
White European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics.
We work with Hispanics all the time. What are you talking about? This is how disconnected he is. Look at hip hop. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Hispanics that are black. What are you talking about, dude? You know what I'm saying? This dude is insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is insane. And the thing is that then he goes, you guys. You know what I mean? Look at hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the East Coast, most hip-hop groups are somewhat of a mix between a black and a Hispanic person in the damn group. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans. You know what I mean? What about the fact that Hispanic people were the ones that initiated the slave trade? They're the ones that brought that shit to the Vatican. Since we're counting people who speak Spanish, which is what Hispanic means, since we're counting Spanish people, European Spanish people as Hispanic, since we're counting white Hispanic people as the same as a black Cuban or a black Dominican, let's talk about how the fact that Spain is one of the countries that initially helped to create all of these disparities by starting out the transatlantic slave trade and what they did in Spain as far as allowing the black people who lived in Spain to be able to be literate, stopping them from going to school. Who are you telling us to sympathize with these people for, man? You know what I'm saying? Nobody sits there and sympathizes and tells Jewish people to sympathize with Nazis or anyone who persecuted them. You know what I mean? The thing is that it's not even at that level, or it's not that deep anymore. But the thing is that, man, who are you talking to somebody like that, though? Who the fuck are you, bro? Who do you think you are? And then the thing that's even crazier is that it's actual Negroes out here. It's actual docile Negro simps out here who will literally try to call you all kinds of coons and all kinds of sellouts for not doing what for this dude. This dude earned what?
Make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed.
Oh my God!
I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay, number one. Number two,
what's greater? Okay, here's a word problem for you, Slow Joe. Remember the alligator in math? You know what I'm saying? Greater than and then less than. What's zero? Is zero greater than zero? Because nobody's done anything for us. So what are you talking about? This motherfucker, see this right here? This is the dangerous kind of.
Benita, you probably used to get angry with me during the debates when you'd have some of the people you were supporting said, on day one, I'm going to executive order to do this. Not within the constitutional authority.
You said on day one that you was going to enact equal rights for LGBTQ. 2, you said you was going to fast track the citizenship 11 million undocumented immigrants. When it comes to black people, all of a sudden it's not in constitutional authority. Y'all should go and take a look at the meaning of that and see what he means by that, because he actually means something by that, because we got 2 constitutions and he won't be able to do anything for black people because of the existence of that other constitution.
I am not going to violate the Constitution.
Boom.
There is a Constitution. It's our only hope. Our only hope.
Not ours.
And the way to deal with it is where I have executive authority, I will use it to undo every single damn thing.
No, the only way to deal with it is to enact that proper constitution that gave black people actual rights to property and to freedom. The one that specifically defines the status of being free in America. You know exactly why you will let that shit slip the fuck out, Joe.
This guy is done by executive authority. But I'm not going to exercise executive authority where it's questioned, where I can come along and say, I can do away with assault weapons. There's no executive authority to do away with that. And no one's fought.
When did one of these people ask you to get to throw away some assault weapon? Who asked you that? Nobody at that meeting asked you to get rid of an assault weapon. This motherfucker comes with talking about shit that nobody even said. And these niggas sit here and let him do it. They let him do it. Now, if you have a conversation with this kind of stuff, if you have a conversation with a black person about Joe Biden, they won't even let you get a word in when you see that you don't support him. They won't even let you get a word in. Niggas will get in front of this motherfucker and catch all kind of heat for him and shit. And look at his ass. He won't even let niggas get a word in. Suck that reality. You know what I'm saying?
Harder to get rid of assault weapons than me. Me. But you can't do it by executive order. You do that, next guy comes along and says, well, guess what? By executive order, I'm going to say everybody can own machine guns again. So we got to be careful.
That's how executive orders work now anyway, dummy. That's why nothing ever works in the government. That's why the first thing presidents do when they come in is sit down and sign a whole bunch of executive orders to try to undo what the president before them did if it was the opposite party. Idiot.
I know you all know this, but I also don't think we should get too far ahead of ourselves on dealing with police reform.
Nigga, you just said you're not doing anything for black people and you're only doing shit for Latino people because whites will be the minority in 2040. That's 20 years from now. But you want to tell these black people about some shit that's probably going to happen in the next 2 weeks, a black person dying. You know what I'm saying? That's getting ahead of themselves talking about. Are you serious right now?
In that, because they've already labeled us as being defund the police. Anything we put forward in terms of the organizational...
Conservatives and progressives. Did you hear that? I'm going to run that back. This is at 6:46. Listen.
Ahead of ourselves on dealing with police reform in that, because they've already labeled us as being defund the police.
That right there is your confirmation that this is another 4 years of Barack Obama.
Anything we put forward in terms of the organizational structure to change policing, which I promise you will occur. Promise you. Just think to yourself and give me advice whether we should do that before January 5th. Because that's how they beat the living hell out of us across the country, saying that we're talking about defunding the police. We're not. We're talking about...
You mean like how the police beat the hell out of Rodney King, and it was your suggestion to come up with the Police Bill of Rights that interferes with internal affairs investigations? That kind of beat the hell out of?
Holding them accountable.
You hear that? You hear how Joe Biden talks to these people?
I said the same thing, and again, if anybody wants to see this original video, I will leave the link in the description box. But pathetic, man. Pathetic. I don't know who I'm more disappointed in. Actually, I'm not disappointed in Joe Biden because this is literally exactly at the level of expectation that I have for him. You know what I'm saying? But I find it disappointing that black people voted this in for themselves. You know what I'm saying? You could have voted for Trump or either not voted. But you voted for this. The fuck is this going to do? Besides, hurt you. Trump tweeted to the fucking air. You know what I'm saying? Usually when he was in the presence of black people, he was pretty respectful and pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker was right in black people's faces talking like this. You know what I'm saying? Stop voting emotion over policy. Alright? With that being said, catch y'all on the next video. Peace.